Hello, this is Sydney Grimm for EFN Enchanted Forest News, reporting live from the scene of what is sure to be the trial of the century. In the matter of moments, we are about to witness quite possibly the most impressive clash of legal minds this court or country has seen since once upon a time. After the years of delay, we are finally about to witness the trial of the big, bad wolf. As many know already, Mr. Wolf, the defendant, escaped a jail sentence when his criminal trial for 3 counts of huffing and puffing with intent to destroy, 2 counts of attempted murder by ingestion, 1 grandmother impersonation, 4 attempted sheep abductions, and 17 counts of lurking, all ending in a mistrial, the result of a giant falling on the jury room while they were determining the verdict. Now, a number of parties have brought together a class action lawsuit on the right to obtain some monetary compensation for what they feel has been an infringement on their rights by the now infamous defendant. It seems the counsels for the plaintiffs, the unequal Miss Fairy Godmother, has entered, accompanied by one of her clients, Miss Red Riding Hood, and the young client's grandmother, Miss, Grandmother. Hello, Miss Fairy Godmother. Any words for EFN?
Yes, Mr. Wolf is a depraved, cold, calculating killer, and it is only his celebrity status in this forest that has saved him from criminal justice. His behavior is reprehensible and has completely infringed upon my client's rights to live happily ever after. As you know, I have always fought to ensure that the good people of this forest get the ending they deserve.
That wolf's gonna get it. We're gonna string him up by his toes and shake him till all his money goes right here. And then me and Granny are gonna get ourselves a nice new condo with a pool and a... Now, dear, have a seat. That isn't appropriate behavior for television. And we don't want to waste anyone's time. We can't have this trial going on forever, you know. Miss Godmother's cloaks all turn into mice after midnight tonight. Yeah, that's lame. You stink.
I never...
No, you didn't. No, she didn't.
Ungrateful little...
Well, haha, there you have it, folks. Oh, here come the other parties filing against Mr. Wolf.
Ooh, television! Microphone. I like microphone. They make my voice loud. Give me.
Ah, yes, the press. Excellent. Yes, I, Pig 3, am a plaintiff in this case. I would be happy to provide an interview if need be.
Well, thanks, but...
Ah, yes. Well, you see, I
didn't say that.
Say, you're Sydney Grimm, aren't you? You remember me? I would. You covered last year's Mr. World Lumberjack pageant, didn't you? Remember me? I was best in flannel land most. Yeah, Bill Woodcutter. That's right, boy. It's me. Sure is good to see you again.
Yes, Mr. Woodcutter, nice to see you too. Ready for this year's pageant, are you?
Sure am.
Hello, Sydney Grimm, EFN. I believe you two are.
Hi, I'm an old shepherd, and this here's my boy. The boy don't know his manners too well, and so we're in a bit of a mess, you see. Well, we don't want no trouble. Just a bit of money for some sheep I lost and to pay the medical bill for the boy.
Right, so you must be the boy who cried, "Wolf?"
Yeah, that's me. What's it to you? Look, I was just having a little fun, okay? Like frying ants with a magnifying glass or blowing up squirrels with homemade explosives.
You shut your mouth, boy. The boy don't mean the things he says. He's just a little, well, boys. We'll be boys, eh?
Right. Well, here he is, the infamous Big Bad Wolf himself. This is a very tense moment in the courtroom right now. Just feel that tension.
I can hear you over there, you know.
Oh, Mr. Wolf, my deepest apologies. Sydney Grimm, EFN, I'm covering the trial today.
Yeah, I guess.
So, Mr. Wolf, who is your attorney today, and where is he?
She, and I don't know. Her name's Evil Stepmother. You heard of her? Apparently she's some big, fancy, high-priced lawyer who's got pulled into pro bono work she doesn't want to do. I don't blame her. Barring another giant, I don't stand a chance today, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you never know. Do you have anything you'd like to tell the viewers out there?
I got nothing to say to the world. The world's got nothing to say to me. Order in the court, don't you give me no flack. Why am I to blame for every little misstep? All my life I've been a good king. That was me, little Rick. 3 little swine. Hey, little Rick, you got the story all wrong. Boycott, it's been a change song. 3 little pigs is a room round, but it got nothing to do with them shacks blowing down. Well, you can ridicule over, it'll step from tail. Tackle me, shackle me, take me to jail. It's a project, it was a game we ain't willing to play. Before the record now, folks, they got nothing to say.
Before the record now, he's got nothing to say.
Never ate sheep, I'm a vegan vegetarian, allergic to meat. I never once been to a little pig's house. Tell them now, girls, I'm as gentle as a mouse.
He's as gentle as a mouse. He's as big, he'll over, he'll step on his head.
Shackle me, take me to jail.
He is the reputation, here he ain't willing to play.
For the record now, folks, they got nothing to say.
Before the record now, he's got nothing to say. Listen to him now, he'll find mercy.
He's a meat-eating critter through and through.
He's guilty, guilty, guilty of the crime. I guess there's only one thing left to do. How about life in a petting zoo?
Well, you can ridicule over, it'll step on my tail. Tackle me, shackle me, take me to jail. Before the record now, folks, they got nothing to say.
Before the record now, he's got nothing to say.
Oh! Oh! Before the record now, folks, they got nothing to say.
Okay, well then.
All rise to the Honorable Judge, wise old man.
Ladies and gentlemen, they say that justice is blind. Well, if justice is blind, bats are blind, then justice must be a bat, eh? You may be seated.
The renowned Judge Wise Old Man is presiding over the case here today. Judge Man is known for his, wisdom. He is known to frequently apply his gift as a philosopher to any case. He is also known for his taste in magic beans.
In this court today, we are here to try of an individual accused of many heinous acts. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you all to keep in mind this important yet difficult concept throughout the many grueling hours of this trial. This concept is that guilty is the opposite of not guilty, and not guilty is the opposite of guilty. That's it. Very well. Shall we begin?
Your Honor, sir, I have no counsel.
What? Oh, yes, of course. Counsel. Well, where is your counsel? Why is it not here? Did you lose it? Did you check in your pockets? Under the seat cushions? Behind the refrigerator?
No, sir, I haven't, but
What? You don't have a refrigerator?
that's not right.
How do you keep your milk fresh? Oh, your lawyer. Yes, of course. Well, who is that? Oh, she's a lot of fun. Miss Evil Stepmother.
I apologize, Your Honor, everyone, for my lateness. What? Excuse me for just a moment. Well, just stand then. Again, I apologize to everyone.
May I inquire as to why you were late, counselor?
Well, I would make up an excuse, but really, forget it. I don't do pro bono work, so I'm really not all that excited about this case, to be honest with you. And I was up late last night yelling at my stepdaughter between the cinders and the fireplace. So I decided to sleep in a little and treat myself to a nice long breakfast with my witness and colleague over here. Now, can we get this thing going? I've got a facial scheduled at 5.
Yes, of course, right away.
Objection.
The trial hasn't even started yet.
Your Honor, I object to the counsel for the defense's attitude. Clearly, she's making a mockery of this courtroom, and you are allowing it.
Oh, I am? Oh, well, that's not good. Miss Stepmother, a bit of wisdom for you. Being late is wrong. Wrong is the opposite of right. Right is the opposite of left. So therefore, the next time you're late, I'll have to ask you to leave. Now then, court is in session. Oh, opening remarks. Miss Godmother.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to correct a grave injustice. By chance, Mr. Wolf has spared the punishment he rightfully deserves. He is a depraved criminal. For years, he has lurked in the forest, preying on innocent little girls.
Yeah, shush, child. Behave yourself.
Innocent little girls, innocent little pigs, innocent little women, innocent little boys, and innocent little sheep. My clients have been frightened, threatened, tricked, eaten, and robbed, and I'm sure I'm leaving something out. Because of a mere accident, this twisted fiend will not receive the punishment he rightfully deserves. That beast over there must be left with nothing, because he has left my clients frightened, threatened, and homeless. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Godmother. Miss Stepmother?
Oh, no, I waive it.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. No statement. Thanks, though.
Very well, moving on.
Really? You're not going to do anything for me? You're not even going to try?
Look, Wolfie, no one's gonna save you, and if anyone did, it sure wouldn't be me.
I'm doomed. I'm going to be robbed blind.
Oh, come on, you did all of it, didn't you?
Yes, but why would anyone understand?
Miss Godmother, call your first witness.
Understand what?
I call to the stand Miss Little Red Riding Hood.
What it's like to have everyone hate you.
Oh,
Who's that I see walking in these rooms? Why, it's Little Red Riding Hood.
do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, Hans Christian Andersen. Maybe I do.
Yeah, sure. Red, sweetie, how are you, dear?
Be a whole lot better if I had that monster's cash.
Right. No, well, not Red, sweetie. Why don't you tell the nice people on the jury what exactly happened between you and Mr. Wolf on the day in question?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, you see, I was walking through the woods, minding my own business, trying to get to my grandmother's house to bring her some bread, because, she's old and sick and stuff. And then this horrible, scary wolf jumps out and pretends to be all nice and stuff. But I know he's creepy, and I'm like, back off, wolf! And he's like, no, come on, I'm all nice and stuff. Why don't you take this shortcut or whatever to get to your granny's house? And I'm like, well, actually, shortcuts are good. I hate walking. It's for losers. I guess this wolf wouldn't just make up some shortcut or whatever. So I started walking. Turns out the freaking wolf did make it up. He gave me a long cut or something so that he could get to my granny's house and eat her.
What? My word, he ate her grandmother? I'm so sorry for you, child. What happened next?
Well, then he dressed up as my granny and got into her bed.
What? That is appalling. What sort of perverse reason could he have had for doing this?
He wanted to trick me into thinking he was my granny. Then when I got close enough to the bed, he ate me.
Ate you too? Consumption of a live human being is a felony. Ladies and gentlemen, an obvious deprivation to one's basic rights.
Oh, it was terrible. Until Mr. Woodcutter came and got us out. It was so dark and clammy and acidic in there.
It sounds horrible, dear.
Oh, it was. Oh, I can't take it.
Why don't you just go back and sit down?
Objection. I haven't cross-examined the witness yet.
But she's so sad.
Yes, absolutely too sad to be questioned. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute here. You can't do that. I have the right to cross-examine a witness. I'm too sad. See?
Yes, according to Clause A, Section 12345 of the Legal Code 22F, extreme sadness may excuse a witness from further testimony.
Oh, Oh, yes, well, if that's the case, then
You just made that up.
the witness is excused.
What?
The witness is excused. Please sit down, Miss Stepmother.
Can't believe this.
Miss Godmother, call your next witness, please.
Yes, I would like to call to the stand Miss Grandmotherhood.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, Hans Christian Anderson. You betcha!
Thanks, Granny.
I prefer Mrs. Hood, please.
Yes, of course, Miss Hood. Now, tell me something. Did these things belong to you?
Why, yes, those are my things.
And can you tell us what the defendant was wearing on the day in question?
Those items.
Anything else?
Just my undies, dear, but that's none of your business.
Yes, of course, Miss Hood. Now, is it correct that when your granddaughter encountered the defendant, he was wearing these same items?
Well, not all the exact same items. I had a spare nightgown and bonnet, but only one pair of glasses.
And at this point, he'd eaten you, is that correct?
It most certainly is.
So not only did the defendant eat a dear old lady and her granddaughter, but insisted that she remove her desperately needed eyeglasses, which she needs in order to see before he did so.
Yes, it was terrible.
Terrible. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard that word before, haven't we? Miss Hood's granddaughter described the events in the same way, and quite frankly, I think they're being kind, as it is in their nature to be. So not only did the defendant eat a dear old lady and her granddaughter, but insisted that she remove her desperately needed eyeglasses. Without her ability to see, the kind of psychological strain Miss Hood must have endured would have been thinkable. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wolf is a flagrant vandal and a killer to sheep. Not to mention a freak who likes to dress up in granny clothes and devour little old ladies. You are a sicko, Mr. Wolf, and it is not going to happen anymore. He's got a history of hiding out with scaring little girls in the woods. We got a wolf who's been stealing sheep and eating just as much as he could. And here's a poor old woman who was in for a thief in her blood. And now the big bad wolf is gonna scare nobody no more. No more. I say the big bad wolf is gonna scare nobody no more. No more. He's going straight downtown and he ain't coming round no more. No more. He's got a history of vandalism, blowing down houses for fun. Oh yeah. He's been a huffing and a puffing and a getting little pigs on the run. Oh yeah. Hey, Mr. Wolf, your brown and criminal days are done. And now the big bad wolf ain't gonna eat nobody no more. No more. I say the big bad wolf ain't gonna eat nobody no more. No more. He's going straight downtown and he ain't coming round no more. No more. Order in the court. Order in the court. Order in the court. And now the big bad wolf is gonna scare nobody no more. I say the big bad wolf is gonna scare nobody no more.
We're back at her again. Final one.
Downtown and he ain't coming round no more. He's going straight downtown and he ain't coming round no more. He's going straight downtown and he ain't coming round no more. I hope you got indigestion.
Hood. Your witness?
No.
You may examine the witness, Miss Stepmother.
Oh, I can examine this one. Thanks so much. Mrs. Hood, let me ask you this.
Yes?
How did the defendant get you to remove your glasses? Did he just ask you? None of that is in the statement that you gave the authorities. Your statement just jumps from the wolf came in to he ate me to then I was joined by my granddaughter in the stomach of the wolf. That's all we get. Now what happened?
Actually, I didn't exactly.
I see you're not wearing glasses today, Mrs. Hood. Do you own contact lenses?
Why, yes, that's correct.
And were you in fact wearing your contact lenses at the time Mr. Wolf entered your cottage?
Yes, that's correct.
So you were able to see just fine then, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
That's very interesting, Mrs. Hood. I think I'm just about done. But, I have one more question.
Yes?
What sort of carpet do you have on your floor, Mrs. Hood?
In which room?
In your bedroom, of course.
Wolfskin.
Wolfskin? Well, isn't that fascinating? Who made that carpet, Mrs. Hood?
My late husband and myself.
I see. No further questions, Your Honor.
Where did that come from?
Hey, baby, I said I didn't work too hard on this case. That still doesn't mean I'm not the best there is. Besides, maybe I like you a little bit all of a sudden.
Well, that was a stunning turn of events. This case may prove more of a battle for Miss Fairy Godmother than she had planned.
Shut up.
The witness is excused. Would you care to call another witness, Miss Godmother?
Yes, I would like to call to the stand Mr. Bill Woodcutter.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, honest Bishop Anderson.
I do indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Woodcutter. Now, would you mind telling us what you do for a living?
I'm a woodcutter and cut wood. I also compete in pageants. I just won best in flannel and most.
Yes, carry an axe. Is that correct?
I certainly do.
And you are licensed to use that axe in case of emergencies, are you not?
Yes, I am.
In fact, is it not part of the woodcutter's code that you must always respond to innocent people in need?
It is part of the code, and I uphold that part of the code.
So, in other words, when you encounter an emergency in the forest, you are obligated to act quickly and courageously?
Yes, I am.
And so you did, sir. You're a true hero, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness, Miss Stepmother.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Woodcutter, let's talk about this woodcutter's code, shall we?
Okay.
How do you know when there's an emergency in the woods that you need to respond to?
Well, it depends. But usually when I see something that looks wrong in the woods, I respond to it.
I see. You see it then, do you? Well, Mr. Woodcutter, would you care to tell me what prompted you to go into Mrs. Hood's cottage that day? There seems to be nothing in the police report about why you went in. Did you hear a scream?
Well, not exactly.
Did you see the defendant enter the house and become suspicious?
Well, no, okay. I was snooping around the house.
Snooping? Whatever for?
I was looking for a pie to steal off the windowsill.
I see. And whatever would you do that? I thought you were a hero.
Cutting wood don't pay so good. That's what I do in the pageants. But you only win the big bucks if you win first prize. I haven't done that yet.
And then, while you were trying to steal something, you happened to see in the window what exactly?
That there wolf sitting in the old lady's bed, wearing her clothes, licking his chops.
Well, all right then. Mr. Woodcutter, tell me though, how did you know, absolutely for sure, that Mr. Wolf had eaten your friend friends and that you were justified in cutting him open. Because that is what you did, isn't it? You cut my client open with an axe?
Yes, I did.
How did you know, Mr. Woodcutter? Couldn't Mr. Wolf have been a friend of Mrs. Hood's that you didn't know? One who occasionally likes to wear her nightgown? How did you know, Mr. Woodcutter, that the two women weren't simply in the other room?
Well, he's a wolf.
Oh, so you just got to cut him open then, eh? Because he's a wolf?
Yep.
No other reason?
Nope.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Another stirring cross-examination from stepmother. This is interesting.
Can you shut up?
Why don't we go to commercial?
Are you a sleeping beauty that can't get your sleep? Are you desperate for more of these? You need the sleeping beauty now. Now in a variety of colors. Call now at 555-2382. Order now and get your second one free. Hello, I'm beautiful again. Now this party's really started. Sleeping Beauty in the house! Yay! Thank you, Sleeping Beauty. That's so much better than friends.
Oh, my name is Onay. Onay? Don't you mean
Yeah, could you please say your name for court records?
Onay?
Oh, O-N-E.
Don't worry about it.
My name is Hello. Like, duh. Must be hard to get good help around here.
My name is Three. Very well. Now, what? Onay. Now, would you mind telling us what exactly happened between you and your house? I built a house, and then it fell over. Now I live in another house. And how did it fall over? A fox blew it down. Sure it wasn't a wolf?
Ah, a wolf, what's he doing here? He's gonna huff and puff and eat me.
Calm down. Just tell me, was that the creature that blew down your house?
Yeah, that was a fox.
Mean wolf?
Yeah.
Wolf.
I was lying in bed watching one of your Texas Ranger when I heard this commotion outside. There was a mighty gust of wind and a stench of danger. When I saw who it was, I nearly died. When the shack started shaking, I got claustrophobic, didn't really know just what to do. Ain't shook that hard since I gave up aerobics. My little fat quarter life was through. Then he huffed, then he puffed, then he puffed, then he huffed, and he commenced to blow the house down. When the shack started falling, I started home. There was nothing left but straw all around. There was nothing left but straw all around.
Okay, anyway, so did that creature also go down your house?
No, I live with 1 and 3 in a nice house. We have a kitchen and a fireplace.
No, your first house. Did he blow down your first house?
Oh, my first house. Oh, why didn't you ask me that? Yeah, it was that guy. I was sitting on my couch watching Leave It to Beaver when a thunderous wind began to blow. It came cutting through the house like a big meat cleaver, and it made me shiver head to toe. Then the whole dang house started shaking and swaying and twisting and turning like a top. When I saw Mr. Wolf, he was growling and grinning. I would soon be one big pork chop. Then he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he commenced to blow the house down. When the shack started falling, I started hauling. There was nothing left but sticks all around. There was nothing left but sticks all around. Then he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he commenced to blow the house down.
lived in our childhood home until about a year ago when we decided to move out and build our own homes. Not too far from each other, but far enough to grant ourselves a reasonable amount of independence.
I see.
Well, one day, that blasted, bloated, maniacal wolf came around and blew down both of my siblings' homes. They came to live with me out of fear that I might attempt to eat them. We were also frightened for such a time as he lurked outside of our home. We barely ate, we barely slept, and our personal hygiene went to the dogs. Look at this! Look at this hair on my chinny chin chin. I haven't shaved in weeks.
Oh, you poor dear, you poor dear.
It was abominable.
Ladies and gentlemen, these poor pigs were too frightened they couldn't even shave.
He told us he would huff and blow our houses down. And he called us little pigs.
Doesn't everyone?
Well, yes, but he said it in a really mean, nasty sort of tone that made it feel like he was trying to demean us. It hurt my feelings immensely.
Your Honor, I have no further questions. I'm too outraged with the defendant's attitude.
Very well, Miss Godmother. Have a seat. Miss Stepmother, your witnesses.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ode, tell me something.
I once tried to tickle my own feet.
What?
I told you something.
No, I don't just want you to tell me something. I want you to tell me what your first house was made of.
My first house? My first house.
Remember, the one you told us about before.
Oh yeah, straw.
Straw. I see. And you 12? And me. I'm not kosher. What? What? No, I don't just want you to tell me something. I want you to tell me what your first house was made of.
That has nothing to do with me not being kosher.
No, it doesn't.
And that's okay?
Yes. Now tell me what your first house was made of.
Sticks.
Sticks. I see. And 3. What is the house in which you 3 all reside? What is it made of?
Brick.
Brick. I see. And it hasn't been over by means of wolf or anything else?
Nope.
And it is up to all the building codes, I assume.
Of course. What do you take me for?
And now 3. Do you think your siblings' homes? What about your siblings' homes? Are straw and sticks building materials approved by the zoning board?
No, they are not.
I didn't think so. Do you think that they would have lasted long in, say, a hurricane or a tornado or, well, a light breeze?
No, I do not.
But they're very safe and cozy now, aren't they?
Yes.
I see. I'm just about done, but I have one more thing.
Yes?
Did my client ever say he was going to eat any of you?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
So how did you know that's what he wanted to do? How did you know he wasn't just trying to make sure that your homes were safe and secure?
Well, because,
No further questions, Your Honor.
The little witnesses are excused.
Your Honor, I have one more witness.
Found out that there was a wolf in my field, and everyone in the village came down to take a look. But there was no wolf. So on the 3rd day, nobody came down to take a look.
I see. So your boy isn't very reliable, is he?
Well,
And no one but the boy actually saw my client steal the sheep or threaten him?
well, no.
And if in fact Wolf did steal your sheep or threaten the boy, the only way we could know it was that particular wolf is by hearing what the boy has to say, isn't it?
Well, I suppose so.
This man, Your Honor, this man's testimony is essentially hearsay, Your Honor.
Yes. Well, why are you still talking to him?
You're excused, Mr. Shepherd.
Does the counsel for the plaintiffs have any further witnesses to call?
Gentlemen, this is going to be good.
Jack! Never mind.
Come on, young man.
But I don't wanna.
I'm afraid you have to, son.
Oh, appointment.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, Hans Christian Andersen.
I guess so.
Tell me, young man, did you ever on any day see a wolf in the fields?
Yeah, of course I did. The third day, just like the old guy said. It was early one night, I was sitting by a tree, playing my flute and tending to the flock. So then dark, I could hardly see, but I saw that wolf right there. What a crock! He was sneaking through the brush, hiding in the burlap, growling, howling, making a fuss. He looked my way, I couldn't stay. I ran and I ran like a madman. I cried wolf,
He cried wolf,
I cried wolf.
he cried wolf,
One time, two times, three times, I cried wolf.
he cried wolf.
When I came back, 7 sheep were gone. I spied a wolf just licking his chops, filled his gut from dusk till dawn. It was him, that wolf right there.
Oh, stop.
Before I could flee, he howled like a banshee, eyes on fire, he came for me. Swung his claws and snapped his jaws. I climbed up a tree like a madman. I cried wolf,
He cried wolf,
I cried wolf.
he cried wolf,
One time, two times, three times, I cried wolf.
he cried wolf,
I cried wolf,
he cried wolf,
I cried wolf.
he cried wolf,
One time, two times, three times, I cried wolf.
he cried wolf. One time, two times, three times, he cried wolf.
I cried wolf. One time, two times, three times, I cried wolf.
Wall. Miss Muffet requires a...
A tuffet! I cannot sit without a tuffet!
Right that. Like I always say, there's no such thing as good psychiatry without a sturdy tuffet. What in the name of all that is good and decent is a tuffet?
I don't know. I think she made it up. Why don't we just have her stand?
Very well. Miss Muffet, the court is unable to provide you with said tuffet. Do you mind standing?
My legs are so tired.
Please.
Well,
This is ridiculous. Just sit down
Hey,
already.
there's a spider on my chair! There's a spider on my chair! I need some good some way! I need some good some way! Oh, I need them so badly!
You know, a great thinker once said, currents and way, your day's okay.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. In any event, I apologize for the behavior of my witness. May I simply call my final witness?
Yes, of course.
I would like to call to the stand Mr. Big B. Wolf.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, Hans Christian Andersen.
I do.
Mr. Wolf, why don't we keep this brief?
Very well.
Why don't you just tell the court what you have to say about all this?
Yes, I'd like to. I'm not sure where to begin. I guess you could say I'm a wolf with few words, but here goes. When I was just a cub, I lived a pretty carefree life. I stayed in the cave mostly and played with my brothers and sisters. And Mother brought us home meat every night for dinner. And one day, she brought home something different though. A human baby. We raised the baby like one of our own, and I loved my sister like she was a wolf herself. Then one day, when I was in the field, she returned to her people and they never saw her again. I swore that day, though, that I would always protect and love creatures of the species. And one day, I swore off the always activities of wolfhood and became a vegan. And one day, when I was in a field of sheep looking for dandelions, a boy began to cry out, "Wolf, wolf! He's taking the sheep! He's going to eat me!" I suddenly became enraged. How could this boy suspect me of doing which I exactly swore never to do? I yelled at the boy, trying to tell him I was a good wolf. But the more I yelled, the angrier I became because the boy just kept on screaming. In a blind rage, I took a sheep and ate them for dinner that night. After that, I tried to go back to my old ways and pull my wits back together. But every time I encountered a creature of another species, he or she would run from me, distress me, scream or something of the sort. I turned to a life of crime. I never meant to hurt anybody, but gradually, I didn't know how else to interact with the world. I did all the things I've been accused of. I admit it, but if I can just ask for once, you have mercy on me. If you take pity, maybe I'll be able to stop. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. I repent or regret all the things I've done. I'm getting sick of taking the heat. Forever now I'm just a kid with a thorn in his seat. I beg the court, please set me free. Have mercy on me. I've been depopulated, isolated, segregated, relocated, booted right out the door. I've been incriminated, castigated, decimated, second-rated, labeled as a predator. I've been shot and spat at by taking
Not
all the
gonna have
text
enough
back
room,
till
I
I
don't
can't
think
stand
so.
it no more. And now I'm asking your forgiveness today. What more can I say? Oh, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. I repent or regret all the things I've done. I always get the short end of the stick when it comes to all the length with the bone to pick. I know I'm guilty, but I'm making a plea. Have mercy on me. I've been investigated, regulated, arbitrated, feeling lost and confused. I've been incarcerated, incubated, tabulated, torturated, wonder why I'm feeling abused. I've been the town talk to think to my pocket and beg to lose life and sick and tired being accused. And now I'm placing your life in your hands. I'm taking a stand. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. I repent or regret all the things I've done. I'm begging, please, just give me a break. And now I'm asking you to pardon for every mistake. I know I'm guilty, but I'm making a plea. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Oh, yeah.
Born a criminal, but made one, simply because the society in which he had lived had viewed him as such, and that, if the jury were to show some more compassion, the first Mr. Wolf had ever known, his ways might begin to change. Now, we'll take you back to the courtroom where the jury is about to deliver its verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like you to give us a verdict. Aha! The jury has reached its verdict, and they find the defendant.
And now, a quick word from our sponsors.
We're magic! We can do lots of tricks. Like pulling rabbits in a hat. Or making rival companies disappear. Whoa.
This isn't the kind of magic we thought you had. This isn't the kind of magic we had in mind.
If you don't want to play, you can eat them too. Wait, what? So do you want them? We'll take it.
Hi, I'm Miss D, aka Miss Jenny. Are you exact in search of deeds? Go to our online store to get a limited edition of Little Now at our username on our website, www.goldengoose/magic/beans/abracadabra.com. Buy some today!
Kill and wait. wait, sorry, I'm not done. Well, I'm stumped. You people don't know how to clap. Hung jury, hung jury.
What? Oh, come on.
This is preposterous.
Now hold your horses, folks. This is nicer, isn't it? My father always said the cornerstone to good government was compromise.
That's the first intelligible thing he said. But it doesn't really apply right now. This is a courtroom. We need a decision. Yeah, I want my money. What's wrong with you people? I want my money. I want my money.
Where's the money? Order in this court. We must simply have another trial. That's all there is to it.
But he's innocent.
Shut it, you crazy tuppet fiend!
Now, that's just the way it is. Remember, as the saying goes, there will always be dust in your vacuum bag, just as there will always be cheese on your pizza. Thank you.
Is there a lesson you were supposed to learn from any of this? Well, it's hard to learn lessons when the jury is so indecisive.
No, that's not it. Justice isn't simple, and it's never black and white. I think you're a good guy, and I'm going to keep fighting for you.
Thanks. I hope I can be as good as you think I am.
I know you'll try. Yeah, right.
Well, I guess I'll be seeing you again in court.
Hey, what is the fight? Come on!
Well, folks, it looks like I'm going to be covering another trial. And with that in mind, I'd best be getting some sleep. That's all for now. This is Sydney Grimm for EFN.
Good job, everyone.